Hi everyone, it's your Simmer here. Good morning. Back here on the farm. Go ahead and leave the trailer here. I don't need that for my trip to the store this morning. Our soybeans are continuing to grow. They've moved up a bit. They're getting a little fuller. Thing I don't recall is how long it takes without seasons. I don't know that they necessarily grow any faster, so we may still have an issue. But first on my list today is trying to see what improvements we can make, or if we can make any that are worthwhile, because if I'm still short, I'd rather do a little bit more work than kind of sell myself short and, for lack of $5,000 or something, settle, because it's just going to take another tree or two to get us close. But I think we're going to be in good shape, and I think that'll go a long way to helping make it seem like we can do more things on the farm, because right now I'm just amazed. While we did a lot of work, the fact that it took all day for the most part, because again, don't forget, we stopped fertilizing at about 9 a.m. yesterday, and then we worked till almost 6 o'clock just to get 6 trees cut and, more importantly, transferred. The cutting wasn't really that difficult. It was getting them to the sawmill, and if we can get something with more power, that's going to change the dynamic a lot. I would be incorrect if I said I wasn't feeling a little unhappy with my selection of land. It's a lot more difficult to work than I thought. Certainly makes for an interesting story, I'm sure, because it's not just simple flat land, but I've definitely noticed flatter parcels up here. So anyway, since we know we're selling this, I am going to spend some money, unless it's substantial, to repair this. I don't need to repaint, but yeah, $40. Let's see. And now I'm hoping that I'm going to repair these anyway, either way. I'm hoping I'll be able to just use the front loader equipment, because I'd still prefer to do that all in one location here. But before we go ahead and try to sell anything, let me take a look at what they have for the alternative. So this is the white farm equipment that they'd been telling me about. So as you can see, we can configure it between 125 and 170, and I'm going to try to go all the way if I can. But let's see. Definitely, a nice piece of machinery. Alright, we can do a front loader, which is good. Wide dual. This has got a lot of options, that's for sure. So I'm liking that idea. Throw some weights on there. That'll help maybe give us some traction. And now let's see. If I go to the upper 170, that only adds 5,500. Alright, so after playing around a little bit with the options that the dealer has available for me, I've decided not to go with any mirrors, because we just keep hitting the trees even with the mirrors we had. I think the straight pipe helps, because it's just going to increase our visibility, and it's not that much of a change. It's $250. We obviously need to maintain the front loader. I don't have enough to go ahead and do anything with the GPS at this point, but I can always come back and add that later, so that's not a problem. And that seems to be what makes sense. But at this point, this will be a massive upgrade. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase this, and then we'll go ahead and we'll sell back our old tractor, and maybe we will have enough to just get this thing configured and be ready to go. Alright, so back here, if we go ahead and sell this vehicle, so if I sell that, alright, so I think we got 10,000. Now, I'm going to just run over and get in my new rig. Quite excited. I can't tell you how excited I am. Well, I guess I just did. Quite excited. But let me just make sure that everything works before I go ahead and make any further commitments. Alright, there we go. Just make sure I can do what I need to with this. Pick the right item, because that'll also help. Alright, that moves the forks in and out. That moves that up and down. Alright, so just to make quicker work of things, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to get a GPS configuration added to this, because at 170 horse, this is something we can use for a while. Every time we make changes, the shop always disconnects the other equipment, which makes sense, so just make sure we pick up our front loader, but whoops, did not mean to mess up their pallets. Alright, so I don't know about you, but I'm feeling good about this. I think we're going to have some options here. Ooh, this is higher up than I'm used to. So, let's see. Gotta head this way. But yeah, I do like that. Whoops! That's never good. Well, let's, well, how are we gonna fix that? Alright, well, we'll play with FSN physics a bit, and sometimes we can rock things up, right? We'll see how that all works out. If I get myself over to the rocks that caused the problem, maybe I'll be able to do some. Oh, that almost did it right there. Let's see. There we go. I guess it's hard to see those rocks from inside the cab. So, lesson learned. Remember they're there and try not to do that again. Welcome to some fun that we didn't really want, but so yeah, we've got a knob on our steering wheel to help us out. Yeah, I don't know that this is any easier to drive through the forest, but as I said, it's hard to pass up on the fact that it's got all the extra power. We're here already. Now, some of that might just be because I'm just excited with what we've got. Now, the reality is, we are... Stop. Alright. It is a little older. They did tell me that, so took a little bit to shut down there, but that's alright. As long as it runs, the quirks just give a character, right? Alright, so the other thing to perhaps figure out is what else can we do today? Because all we've done is spend money, and now we're back down to nothing. Obviously, the simple answer is we're going to have to cut some more trees, but I think I've established that if right now I don't know that this is the best place to continue to work on a field. So let's take a look at what our plot looks like. Alright, so here we are. You can see where we're at right now. So we're right there. So we've got a ton of land this way, and we've got a little bit of land that way. So let's go explore up here and over here. So I'm going to hop in my tractor to do the exploring, because, like, why wouldn't I? You know, the challenge is always, like, where is the line? Like, this is obviously extremely hilly. So, like, nothing I really want to do here. And I'm thinking we're getting really close. And this might actually be the line. I'm wondering if that's what these bushes are for. we're actually outside our space already. So there's very little above, but yeah, we can go over to the left. So let's do that, and that'll get us back onto our property, but I'm not even sure it's worth looking at, because even if I'm back on my property, I don't know, one could make an argument maybe this is better, because the question is, I still don't know how much I can get out of this. Let's take a look again. So we are here. Alright, we are in our space. I think this is deceiving. I don't think this is as flat as it looks. But let me head over in this direction. And I would love to not have to be so far away. But if I can find a really nice space, and I'm beginning to wonder if that's going to be possible on anything we own here, you know, it might be worth the effort. I know we basically go all the way out toward field 6 here, but you can tell this is still a heavy slope. So overall, I mean, we may just have a plot of land that is very, very similar throughout. Because yeah, we're coming up on field 6 here. Just curious, the farmer who's got field 6 in general, like, did they basically get the plot of land that is flat, or did they just kind of create a field that same way? I don't want to ruin his field, so I can't see. It's flatter, but still not flat. Because the question then really becomes, do I just continue to expand where I am? Because, you know, I start to have very little value in doing anything else. I'm just going to take a quick peek again, because I'm not sure exactly, like, if we're even in space we own here. I think we are, but yeah. So we're right at the edge. So basically we kind of have to go this way. So yeah, we don't own any of those other places. Well, that is somewhat disappointing. So as I said, while it was a nice piece of land as far as size, because it gives us some options, the reality is, you know, I think what we've done was a good investment. Wow, there's a piece of something. Is this on our property? It is. You can see it pretty clearly in the overhead as gray, but yeah, there's a big piece of rock there. That's not going to be very useful if it ever gets in our way. We're not going to be able to do much with that unless we suddenly have something like dynamite available, but I'm thinking that's not going to happen. Alright, so I'm seeing... Oh, that's the sign. Alright, there's our tent. As much as I prefer not to, I may really need to bring this thing really close, tent there, and make the best of it. And then something like, again, purchasing this high horsepower tractor is going to turn out to be a good idea, because we're just on some hilly land. So I think that's what we've learned. So we can't say we didn't try to find something better, but at this point I think our path is clear. We're going to take this tree out, this tree out. I'm just trying to figure out how close I want to get, because I don't want to be right up to the edge. So like that tree, this would probably be it. So, you know, this one. So I've got, what, four trees maybe right now that are clear. and we've got nothing else specifically to do today, so we'll get back to that work, and we'll see how long that takes us. I could see it easily taking us the rest of the day again, although hopefully with the faster tractor, or the more powerful tractor, things will move along more quickly. But we'll see how it goes. So headed back after another day of removing a few more trees, getting ourselves ready for some potential field expansion that'll take place. Again, maybe it's something I'll work on in the next few days. Maybe it's something I'll work on later, not sure. But I will say, very pleased with the purchase. This made it much, much better. Never really got below 9 miles an hour or so, even in the worst case. So now that this is expanded out, the other thing I'll potentially take a look at is, maybe I can do something different on the plow side rather than that little 2-meter thing. But not sure that I got a lot of options available yet, so we'll see. But in any event, we've got ourselves some things going. A little early in the afternoon, but I know for the harvester we need about 18,000 between the header and the harvester itself. There's a couple options we can look at, but we'll worry about that, obviously, as things come to harvest, because there's not really a point. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. The crop seems to be moving along relatively slowly, so we may still have several days where all I'm really doing is some tree work and a couple things here and there in between. Maybe I'll dig into doing something with the field expansion just so that we're ready for next time and can really go gangbusters. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day and just relax. Pretty happy again with what we've done, so I'll see you next time.